On behalf of the Ontario Hockey League, I would like to welcome everyone to the 1999 OHL Priority Selection. Especially like to welcome the wave of new players that will be joining our league as the result of today's proceedings. It is you that make us the #1 development league in the world. This past season has been an extremely exciting year as major junior hockey in this country continues to grow all around the world. At this time, I would like to acknowledge and congratulate our league champions from the past playing season, the Belleville Bulls. And of course, the 81st Memorial Cup was held in Ottawa. To the 67s, congratulations on not only capturing the Memorial Cup, but the outstanding job you did in hosting the country. Thank you very much. Before proceeding with today's activities, I would like to review a couple of important points relative to the process. The positions, of course, are determined by the inverse order of finish from the past playing season, with priority given to the non-playoff teams. Member teams are permitted 5 minutes per selection in each of the first 3 rounds, 3 minutes per selection thereafter. Today's process will be capped at 15 rounds. Today's process will see players born 1982, 81, and 80 eligible for selection in all rounds. Players born in 1983 may only be selected in one of the first 4 rounds, and of course our teams are not permitted to select more than 2 1983s. It is important to note that given the transition that our league is going through with the member partners of the Ontario Hockey Federation, that all players not selected today born 1983 will of course be eligible for selection in tomorrow's proceedings. We have 8 rounds, 1983 selections being conducted tomorrow. The floor area is strictly reserved for member team personnel and the attending media. The tables, the management tables, are closest to the head rostrum here. The back tables are our team orientation tables. We invite selected players to come down. There's entrances onto the floor area by the penalty box area, which is at center ice to my left. You will be escorted to your team table to meet the team staff, and then from there, you and your family will be escorted to the orientation table, where you are invited to meet the educational consultant and other people connected with the organization to familiarize you with the organization and the community. Before proceeding, I would like to take this opportunity as well on behalf of the league to pay special thanks to Scott Abbott, the President and Governor of the Brampton Battalion, and the entire battalion organization, who have done an outstanding job hosting all of us the last 3 days in this outstanding city and outstanding facility. So Scott, to you, on behalf of the league, thank you very, very much. We will now do a roll call before commencing. Mississauga Ice Dogs, Brampton Battalion, Toronto St. Michael's Majors, Kitchener Rangers, Kingston Frontenacs, North Bay Centennials, Windsor Spitfires, Sudbury Wolves, Erie Otters, Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, London Knights, Sarnia Sting, Peterborough Petes, Owen Sound Platers, Oshawa Generals, Belleville Bulls, Guelph Storm, Ottawa 67s, Barrie Colts, Plymouth Whalers, and Bill Needham in the OHL Central Scouting Bureau. Commencing with round one, the first order of selection belongs to the Mississauga Ice Dogs.
On behalf of the Mississauga Ice Dogs, I'm proud to select as the first player taken in this year's draft from the Brampton Battalion, Mississauga native Jason Spezza.
Thanks, guys. Selecting next, the Brampton Battalion.
The Brampton Battalion, exercising the second pick in the 1999 OHL Priority Selection here on home cement, are pleased and privileged to select from the great city of Kingston, Ontario, and the Kingston Voyageurs of the Provincial Junior A Hockey League, left center Jay McClement.
Selecting next, the Toronto St. Michael Majors.
The Toronto St. Michael's Majors are very pleased and honored to select one of our own from the Vaughan Bantams, Mr. Jeffrey Doyle.
Selecting next, the Kitchener Rangers.
With the 4th overall selection, the Kitchener Rangers are very pleased to select from the Bramalea Blues, right defenseman Steve Eminger.
Thank you very much. Selecting next, the Kings.
Kingston Frontenacs are very pleased to select from Lindsay Junior A, centerman Corey Stillman. Good luck, Corey. Thanks, John. Take care. Okay, this may avoid your selection. Yeah. We'll see. Rest up. What is called?
The North Bay Centennials are pleased to select a native of Sault Ste. Marie from the Elliott Lake Ice, Chris Thorburn.
Luck yourself. Okay, I'll hold that for you. Step up on the tape there, guys. Turn around like this. Step up on the tape. Selecting next, the Windsor Spitfires.
The Windsor Spitfires are very pleased to select Michigan native Leamington Junior B player Tim Gleason.
Tim, why don't you take your coat off and then I'll hold it for you if you wish. We'll stand up on the tape there. Good luck to you, Tim. Thank you. See you guys. Selecting next, the Sudbury Wolves.
Sudbury Wolves would like to pick from the Collingwood Junior A goalie 1982 Miguel Baudry. Thanks, guys. There you go. Good luck to you now, Miguel. Selecting next, the Erie Otters.
This point in the process to be able to select from Collingwood, it's a popular place today, 82-born center iceman Scott Rosendahl.
Welcome aboard. Selecting next, the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds.
You could see it ran down to the top. Stupid. No, there's a time and place for things. You wanna, absolutely. It's not now.
Yeah. Well, good luck, Grace. Go ahead. It's all yours.
Hey.
Sioux Greyhounds are pleased to select from the Vaughan Junior A 1983 left defenseman Trevor Daly. Selecting next, the London Knights.
London Knights are privileged to select a right centerman from Sudbury Bantams, Matthew Alabiani.
Selecting next, the Sarnia Sting.
On behalf of the entire Sarnia Sting organization, we are very pleased and honored to select 1983 birthday left center from Leamington Junior B, Jason Penner.
Selecting next, the Peterborough Petes.
Peterborough Petes, pleased to select 1983 birth date from the Ajax Junior A Axeman Ryan Ramsey.
Selecting next, the Owen Sound Platers.
The Owen Sound Platers, pleased to select centerman from the Orangeville Junior B, Greg Chesina.
Selecting next, the Oshawa Generals.
The Oshawa Generals are proud to select from the Peterborough Bantams, 1983 birth date, Nick Lees.
Selecting next, the Belleville Bulls.
The Belleville Bulls are pleased to select 1983 birth date, a right center from Tecumseh Junior B's, Kyle Wellman.
Selecting next, the Guelph Storm.
The Guelph Storm Hockey Club is pleased to announce and welcome its newest family member, left wing 83 birth from St. Thomas Junior B, Colt King.
Selecting next, the Ottawa 67s.
The Ottawa 67s are pleased to select from Ottawa Junior A Senators, Brendan Bell.
Selecting next the Barrie Colts.
The Barrie Colts select from Leamington Junior B, right defenseman Eric Reitz.
Selecting next the Plymouth Whalers.
Plymouth Whalers are pleased to select 1983 birthday left center North York Junior A Stephen Weiss.
That completes round one. Prior to commencing with round two, as has been the custom of our league for the past number of years, we present the Jack Ferguson Award to acknowledge the first player taken overall in our annual priority selection process. Past winners have been Eric Lindros, Jeff O'Neill, Daniel Tkachuk, just to name a few. Last year, of course, was Jay Harrison, who was selected by the Brampton Battalion. Jay went on to captain Team Ontario under 17 at the Canada Winter Games, was an assistant captain for the battalion, was named to the all-rookie team, and was a teammate of this year's winner, a recipient of the Jack Ferguson Award. And Jason Spezza, like Jay Harrison, is a very special person, along with being a very special hockey player. To present the Jack Ferguson or the Fergie Award is Jack Ferguson. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Spezza.
Ladies, gentlemen, fellow hockey players, and friends of the Ontario Hockey League, I'm truly honored to be selected the first player in this 1999 OHL Priority Draft, and at this time I'd like to thank some people. To Commissioner David Branch and all members of Central Scouting, thank you for this very high honor. To Mr. Cherry, Mr. Whiffen, Coach Halton, and the scouting staff, and all the members of the Mississauga Ice Dog family, I am truly thankful for your faith in me, and I will do my utmost to wear the colors of the Ice Dogs with integrity and pride. I would also be remiss if I didn't pay special thanks to Mr. Abbott, Coach Butler, and all the players of the Brampton Battalion for allowing me to play with such a great group of people this year. Without the support and experience I gained in Brampton, this day could not have happened. To my mom and dad, thank you for all the support and encouragement throughout all those cold visits to all the arenas around the province. You both know how much I love you. To my brother Matthew, who served as my goaltending target in our basement, thanks for taking all those high shots to the team. And to my sister Michelle, thanks for putting up with hockey for 24 hours a day, every day. I would also like to acknowledge my grandparents, aunts, and uncles who have always given me guidance and support. To Mr. Bobby Orr, Darren Ferris, and all the great people at Wolf Associates, thank you for your guidance and focus who have brought me to respect to my career goals. Also, I'd like to thank Gary Bursky, who's helped my game tremendously. And finally, to all the players assembled here today at this very special time, I wish you only the best as this thrilling day unfolds, and I look forward to playing with or against you in the greatest amateur hockey league in the world. Thank you.
Commencing with round 2, Mississauga Ice Dogs.
The two guys on the outside just kind of a little bit. We'll do a buddy pitch. Yeah.
Jimmy. You enjoying it?
2 or 3 for me again if you want.
Got it.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Go ahead, bring it up. Yeah. Happy guy. Good. Thanks very much. Hold on, down. Yep, it's fine. Thanks.
You want to?
I'm coming with you.
I hope he's
Thumbs up. Yeah.
This is on Bobby Orr's next brochure.
Yeah. Are these all Bobby's guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is Bobby's photographer over here. Yeah, for the promotional brochure. Yeah.
Can I get a G-Date? You're gonna be on the ice against each other for Mondays. We should be honest. How you get in there? Come on, that's it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we've interviewed this guy 100 times. We already know what he's going to say. What kind of golf?
What?
How's your golf? Alrighty. Okay, Jason, obviously, unlike most of the guys getting drafted today, no big surprise, but still, what's it like to be the first round draft pick in the OHL?
Oh, it's definitely an experience, and I've been looking forward to this day for a little while now, and I'm happy to be a Mississauga Ice Dog, so I'm looking forward to next season.
Well, how did you find last year, knowing maybe in the back of your mind that, oh, you're playing with Brampton, you could well end up playing with the Dogs this year?
Well, last year during the season, I didn't really worry about it because I had to worry about Brampton, and I owed them a lot because they were great to me. But now that season's over, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about playing for Mississauga and trying to make them maybe a better team.
Tell us a little bit what you've been doing in the off season. Obviously school, but what are you doing to keep yourself not only occupied but ready for this year?
I've been working out a lot, trying to get in better shape, and hopefully looking forward to getting out on the golf course a little bit. So looking forward to that.
And what are you looking forward to as far as working with a new coach? I mean, it's a bit of a change from Stan to Jimmy this year and a new team.
Yeah, I've talked with Jim, and he seems like he's a really good coach. And like I said, I'm just looking forward to next season. I can't wait to get started.
Okay, and a little sidebar, how many, let's say, media tips and publicity recommendations has Don given you already today?
Oh, he just told me to act myself and just sort of just talk like I talk to anybody else and just get in front of the camera, not to worry about that.
What kind of goals this season, Jason, as far as for the team and yourself?
Oh, I think the team's good. We're just going to try and improve step by step and hopefully get some more wins the next year, definitely.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Jay.
No problem.
See you very much this year.
Yeah.
Not too bad. I think I'm really sick of guys like me. No. Alright. Get used to us. We'll be having just going to do a level check while you're talking.
Yeah, sure.
We'll end up getting annoyed because we cover you guys, we cover the ice talks.
Sure.
So it's it'll be in your face all day. Okay, Jake, kind of standard question off the bat. Give me your first reaction when you heard your name today.
Well, I was excited. You know, I wasn't too sure. Mr. Butler keeps a pretty tight hand, so no one was really sure. But that's the way that everyone thought it was going to happen. It happened that way, so I'm happy. I'm excited.
Now that you're donning the military green of the Brampton Battalion, what are you looking forward to this season?
I'm just looking forward to just getting ready for camp, and everyone says, well, I know Mr. Butler's a great coach, so I'm excited to be able to play for him, and I think it's gonna be fun.
Tell me a little bit about your game when you were playing with the boys yours last year.
Oh, it was my second year. I played as a 14-year-old, so you know, I got more of a chance to play, and that's why I developed. And I think that's part of the reason I'm here today, because the staff there gave me a chance to play when I was 14, so I had the experience, and I play more of a defensive style. You know, I just make sure I get the job done in the defensive end first. So.
Is that going to be your priority? Is that the sort of game you think you might be bringing here to Brampton now?
I think so, yeah. My offensive skills need a little fine-tuning, but I just think about defense first before offense.
You know, it's pretty tough to say you were in the sweaters when you saw them last year. Do you like these units?
Yeah, they grow on you. I like them, yeah.
Yeah. Anybody you'd want to thank, let's say, off top about, you know, making it so far?
Just my mom, my dad, and my sister, and all my family. There's about 50 of them here today supporting me, and the Kingston Voyageurs.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Excellent, man. Best of luck. We'll see you all year.
Anytime, Mark.
Yeah, alrighty. Hang on a sec. Steve, standard probably question you had a few times today. What did you feel when you heard your name called this afternoon?
I was just very excited. It's always been my dream to play in the OHL, and this just made it much easier. Kitchener is a great organization. I've always wanted to play in Kitchener, and I just hope to contribute to the team.
Did you think we were playing, because we're kind of familiar with your play when you're with the Bramalea Blues, did you think it would happen this fast?
Well, by playing Bramalea gave me a lot of exposure, because they could see by playing with 20-year-olds, they could see how you could compare to the OHL. So I figured it would be a lot easier to see how I would fit in the OHL.
Now your game really picked up, especially in the Tier 2 National Championship. What kind of game do you think you'll end up bringing to the Rangers this season?
I guess kind of the same, but I guess you would have to tighten up more defensively. So I would still try to create plays in the offensive zone.
Yeah, this one's low too, so.
Yep, no problem. Had a good season last year, Steve. What kind of game do you want to bring to, well, I'll get it from you again. What kind of game do you think you can bring to Kitchener?
Just kind of bring the same game I had in Bramalea. Offensive, create chances in the other zone. But I would also like to tighten up defensively, be a dependable defensive player on the ice.
Anybody in particular you might want to thank for the season that you've just had and being drafted today?
Just like to thank the whole Bramalea organization, especially Lindsay Hoffer, for giving me a chance to play in Bramalea and give me a chance to play, give me ice time and so on.
Pretty long day for you guys. Tell some of the people at home, I mean, that have never had to gone through a draft, how anxious are you when you're sitting in the seats up there?
My heart was pounding so fast, it was going to pop out of my stomach. But now I'm pretty calm. So you're so happy. It's probably the biggest day in hockey for me so far.
What kind of predictions do you want to look for this season? What would be a really good season for Steve Eminger?
Really good season. Just the same as Bramalea season. Get the ice time, work hard, and you have to earn that ice time. And I'm not really looking at points, just want to contribute to the team.
Sounds good. Best of luck, Steve.
Thanks.
Looking forward to seeing you again, man.
Yep.
Okay, Jeff, obviously a pretty exciting afternoon for you, but tell me how you were feeling when you heard your name called today.
Well, there were some tears shed by my parents, and just the greatest feeling of my life so far, and it just made me so happy to see my parents happy, see me move on to the next step in my life and career and stuff like that.
I guess between yourself and your parents, coming from King City, couldn't have asked too much of a better team to be playing for?
Yeah, I already go to the school. I know the whole team. We're all good guys, and it's going to be great for me. I fit in perfect because I can live at home, and I'm fine with being in the school and stuff like that.
Had a good season last year. What do you think the majors can expect, what your contribution is going to be this up and coming year?
Hopefully I can help them and be a power forward, open up the ice a bit more for one of the other forwards and the centers, and get in the corners, win my battles, put it in front of the net, and help out our team.
So you might have a pretty good combination between yourself and Delaney and Bootland.
Yeah.
That might be quite a force.
Yeah, I played with them in a couple of senior games we did. Played good together.
Big day again for you guys. Is there, and obviously you're still a young man, but it's been a pretty long haul so far. Is anybody you might want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank my former coach, Coach Elio Capizano. If without him I wouldn't be here today. There's no one more I'd like to thank. Him, he made me the player that you see today, that you're going to see next year. And I'd like to thank Mr. Orr. His advice and guidance just made it possible for me to be here today.
Do you think, obviously again, Toronto, a good team to be playing with, but a lot of big name profile guys considering him behind the bench between Osborne and Mark Napier and now Steve Shutt. Is that a little extra incentive maybe for you?
Yeah, the incentive's always there with the background of St. Mike's and knowing the past of what they've done. And it's just another incentive to play better and add up, try and equal up to those plans.
If a dream could come true, what would be the best season or the best thing that could happen to you this year?
This probably happened, but I'd hopefully just play out my year, play the way I can play, and get a good rating. And hope I please all my fans and my coaches next year.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
Thanks a lot.
Off the top, give me your first name, your last name, and spell both for me, just to be safe.
My first name's Mike Gresdale. Mike, M-I-K-E.
Tricky.
Gresdale, G-R-E-S-D-A-L.
Mike, who were you playing with last season?
I began the season with the Prairie Sound Shamrocks, and then on the January 10th deadline, I got traded over to Huntsville Wildcats.
How was the end of the season for you with Huntsville?
Pretty good. It was. I got lots of ice time. Made me a better player. I figure so.
Pretty tough day for all you guys. I mean, what was it like when you finally heard your name today?
Well, I was really excited. I almost didn't think they were going to call me in. And I was really, really happy.
How's it? Well, I guess so, especially now that you're drafted to Memorial Cup defending champion.
Yes, I really want to go to this team too. I was crossing my fingers I'd go to this team. Seriously.
You were traded last year, as you were saying, in Huntsville. Tell me a little bit about your game.
In Huntsville?
Yeah. Like your style of hockey. Don't worry about it.
All right,
I'm gonna fix it up. Right? No
right,
problem.
sure.
You know what? Here, I'll fix it even better. Had a pretty tough season last year. You know, two different teams. What do you think you're going to bring to Ottawa?
I think I'll bring a good, solid defenseman in front of the net. I can get the puck out well. Good man-to-man passing. Maybe even score a few goals here and there. I'm a tough player, I think. Rough it up in front of the net. Clearly, same I would have said.
Looking to contribute in any way, shape, or form?
Pretty much, yes.
Must be pretty happy. I mean, like most young guys, their possibility to becoming an NHL. Oh, sorry, see, I'm as bad as you, eh? Becoming an NHL player. Must be pretty happy to be working under someone like Brian Kilrain.
Yes, it is. Yeah, very much.
And first time having to move away from home?
I don't mind it a bit. I've already experienced that. Over in Prairie Sound, I lived with a family over there, and I loved it a lot, and I'm looking forward to it again.
Anybody you want to thank for the season gone by and getting drafted today?
I'd just like to thank my parents and a coach that is not my coach, but he's a trainer. His name's Danny Polisiani. He's helped me, along with my agents. They've helped me become a better hockey player, and I'd like to thank them. And
what would be your best outcome for the up-and-coming season, Mark? Let's say for this year, obviously not 50 goals this year,
No,
but
no.
it's obviously, I guess, to work in well with the Ottawa 67s
Yes.
and play as good as you can.
To become one of maybe their top defense, maybe.
Give me a special,
That's my goal.
Give me a special hello for anybody at home.
All right?
Give me a special hello for anybody at home. They'll see it.
Hello. Hello to everyone back at home.
There you go.
I
know when you're good? Eric, kind of standard questions. I know you've been inundated with them pretty much all day, but give me the sort of feeling that went through you when you finally heard your name called today.
Great feeling. Best of my hockey career so far. It's a great honor to be in this city. I can't wait now. I'm sure this summer will be a lot of hard work ahead of me, so I'm willing to do it.
What type of game are you going to be bringing to the Colts?
A defenseman that can chip in offensively, but can play defense when called upon.
And as far as obviously wanted to thank, coaches and parents, this is a good opportunity too. Is there anybody you'd like to say thank you to?
Yeah, Greg Bignall, Cambridge Winterhawks. Great. One of my role models, you could say. Peter Brill, the whole Cambridge Winterhawks organization, Brian Tanchuk. My mom and dad, they made a lot of sacrifices for me. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today.
What would be the best thing, let's say that as far as this up and coming season would go, what would be the best thing that could happen for you, Eric?
Hopefully get my arm back and then work hard over the summer and try to get games with a little bit more strength.
Going to a pretty a very popular hockey hotbed in Barrie. Is that one of the teams you were looking forward to maybe coming to?
Yeah, like last year I went to the draft and watched. It was a good experience, and I noticed like the fans, and even watching the games on TV, the fans are really into it. They get a lot of fans, all their home games and that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds good. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, sir. Been doing a lot of interviews already?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot.
Getting pretty sick of them?
No, not really. It's fine.
All right, this guy's good.
Go ahead, Mark.
He's going to be good. Greg, obviously the first thing they'll want to know at home is how did you feel when you heard your name called this afternoon?
Oh, I felt great. I'm proud to be an Owen Sound player right now, and I just hope I can make the best of it and follow in the footsteps of so many great players that the organization has produced. So I'm pretty happy.
Good season for you last year. What are you going to be bringing to Owen Sound?
I think I could bring scoring ability, and I think I can accumulate a lot of points for the club, and hopefully, put a lot of goals on the scoreboard. Anything to help the team.
Was Owen Sound one of the teams you were maybe hoping to get drafted by this year?
Yeah, I had a pretty good feeling that I was going to go to Owen Sound, and they've been talking to me on and off throughout the week, and they made it final that if I was around in the first round that they would take me, and things worked out for the best, and I'm really happy, and I got picked by Owen Sound, so it's great.
Been a pretty long haul for your hockey career so far. Is anybody you might want to say thanks to?
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank my father first for all the help he's done for my hockey. That's he's done so much for me. Also my agent Andy Stein, the rest of my family, and Dan Polisiani, and a couple other coaches there, and that's about all.
If you could have a dream season for next year, what would it be?
I think first, maybe for the club, since they made it to the semifinals last year, although we're losing a lot of players, we could maybe build on that and maybe make a run for the finals. And also, I hope I have a pretty strong season from my point of view. But all in all, I hope we have a great season. With the Owen Sound players.
Thanks a lot, Greg.
All right, thanks.
When you got him. Got him. It looks better this year, you think?
There we go.
I think it looks better this year.
Rough shape.
There you go. A little partying last night?
No. Get that off here.
It's like that, man. Scotty, what have you been doing in the off season?
Actually, I just started working out last couple of weeks and getting back on the ice, getting ready for next year. So.
Got a couple of key returnees this year and a few new guys. How do you think the team's going to be shaping up this year?
Can't be any worse. We picked up Spezza today, and we got Foley and maybe Evans fighting for the goaltending job. So we're going to have an older team and stronger team. So.
It's pretty tough to make a prediction on how you guys might do, but
I think playoffs are in reach. We want to make that, so we're going for that. So.
You had a really good season last year, Scott. I mean, considering the way the first couple of years went in the OHL, do you think you'd be able to build on that?
Well, you know, I'm hoping. I'm just going to play the same role and work hard and see what happens. If the puck goes in, the puck goes in. But as long as I'm the hardest worker, so then I'll be happy. So.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
I'll let you go, Scott. Now you can beat up on this. Here, this will even be nicer for him.
No, you go on the other side. Okay. There's no need to hurt me during this.
It'll look better for him.
All right. You're good, Mark.
All right. No, I'm not good at all. I got more tired than this guy. Pretty amazing season last year, Matt. I'm not going to ask you to summarize everything, but you know, in a few words, what was it like for you last year?
It was perfect. You know, great ending to the season. That made the whole year. You know, there's their up and downs, but the ending, winning the Memorial Cup, made the whole year just perfect.
How is the off-season looking for you now? Now I understand that you will be re-entering the draft, the upcoming NHL draft.
I'm just going to worry about training, and that's about it. You know, take it easy this summer, rest, and hopefully things will go well for me in the draft in June. And you know, we'll see what happens from there.
What kind of advice do you have for your fellow Mississauga resident here? I mean, you know, one guy's on the top and the other guy's on the bottom as far as where his team is.
It'll come around, I guess you can say. You know, it's a young team. Their draft picks last year are all a year older, so I think they'll be fine this year.
Now, the 67s might be a little hard-pressed with the amount of guys that they may lose. What do you think the best thing that could be happening to Ottawa this year?
I think there's a lot of guys leaving, but it seems that every year Killer usually drafts some good players, and the rookies really step up and play well. So I don't think there'll be a problem there. I think they may have a tough start at the beginning, but I think once things get going, it'll be fine.
Could be a pretty biased question. Tell me what it's like playing under Brian Kilray.
Unbelievable. It's 3 years now, and I owe so much to him, and he's been the greatest coach I've ever had. He's just an awesome guy on and off the ice.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
No problem.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
We're not ready? They're not ready.
Said go.
He's ready.
Now I'm ready.
All right.
Aaron Lobb, Aaronlobb.
Aaron, not a bad season for you last year. Tell us a little bit about what the Knights might expect from you this year.
I think they'll expect me to come into the camp and make this team and play for them and contribute to this team. So,
what kind of game do you end up bringing to the Knights? Like, what would you say your style is, and what do you hope that you'll be able to become a part of?
I think my style is a lot of finesse. Like to handle the puck a lot. Like to pass the puck a lot. Good in the corners. Can rough it up a fair bit. I think that they'll want me as an all-around player to do all the jobs they want me to.
It's a pretty tough day for you guys, especially in the stands. What was the feeling when you heard your name this afternoon?
Relief. I don't know. It's great because London's only about 50 minutes away from my house too, so I can keep contact with my parents and keep contact with a lot of my friends too. So.
Still a pretty young man, obviously,
yeah.
But it's been a pretty long hockey road so far. Is there anybody you might want to thank?
Thank Pat Stapleton a lot because he's the one who got me to play Junior B this year for the Strathmore Rockets, and all his knowledge of the game can help anybody out. It really helped me out a lot, and I like to thank him a lot. I thank both my parents for spending all their money on me to play hockey and motivate me through all the years too.
Sounds good. Best of luck.
Yeah, thanks.
3, 2.
Alrighty. Don, I guess no big surprise. Got your guy today?
Well, it was worth it all last year. I think it was worth it all last year. We took an awful lot of abuse last year. We had 4 wins. We had a lot of people say a lot of things about us, but it was worth it when I heard Spezza, #1 Mississauga. So it's a great day. This kid is unbelievable. One like him comes along every 10 years. I think the last one was Eric Lindros, and I guarantee you he'll be the #1 draft in the National Hockey League 2001.
You got some pretty good young wheeler dealers up front. What kind of Dogs team can we expect this year?
Well, I'll tell you. There's another one. Oshawa General's ready to go too. No, we should have a good team. We've Marcus Smith, and he's a great defenseman, and we're lucky to have him. We picked up a goalie. We got Coley the goalie, and now Foley the goalie. But we'll be a lot better. And don't forget, we lost 16 games by 1 goal last year. and or had the goalie out. So don't forget, we're going to have the same team, only better this year. And then the following year, we're going to have the same team. So even if we didn't improve, the other teams getting rid of their older players, we got to improve. So I'm looking forward, and like I said many times before, every dog will have its day.
Maybe a little foreshadow today. We had Jason up there getting the first round draft pick in that Memorial Cup sitting right beside him.
Yeah, listen, there's teams have done it, got there before. The Calgary Hitmen did it in 4 years. And I remember a long time ago, Hamilton, I think Finn Cups, yeah, they did it in 4 years, won the cup in 4 years. So I'm not saying we're going to win the cup. I say you always, that's what you go in for. You don't go in just to make the playoffs. You don't go in just to play hockey. You go in to win the Stanley Cup and the Memorial Cup.
Do you find it a little ironic? I know the battalion owner Scott Abbott was here, and it seems a little strange that arguably or easily said that their best player is getting drafted by you guys in their home barn.
Yeah, you have to feel sorry for them. They did. They give the kid the shot. We didn't. We were told by certain people that he couldn't play in the league, if you can believe it. And Scott Abbott and them, they give him the shot. But that's the way the rules are, and I'm glad the rules are that way. And we're looking forward to it. And I saw him do things last year I didn't see too many guys do when he was only 15. Imagine what he's going to be like when he's 18.
It's going to be good.
Be dandy.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it. When you're good to go. It's just got to be like that pretty damn good day for you guys.
Oh, yeah. And anytime you're ready.
Okay. Lots of family up for you?
Yeah, we got my
Everybody
grandparents up there.
Beautiful. Alrighty. Okay, cool. It's obviously a pretty big day. Tell me, along with some of the people at home, oh yeah, this is all edited, so you can change anything you want at any point in time, right?
Alright.
Let some of us know, what was it like when you heard your name this afternoon?
I don't know, I can't really explain it. You know, it's the only time you really want to hear your name is getting drafted. It was a pretty exciting feeling. I just jumped up out of my seat, you know, first round. Thought, hey, that's great, eh? So gave everyone a hug, walked down that aisle, put on the jersey. I was pretty excited.
What kind of game can the Guelph Storm expect from you this up-and-coming season?
A physical game. I like to play physical, get in people's faces, take some hits, make the plays, and score a few goals.
You're coming to a team that won the division last year, won the OHL championship last year. Is this like one of the teams you were hoping to become part of?
Definitely one of the teams I was hoping to go for. It's great to go to such a great team, and you know, hopefully we can continue that success into this year. I can help on that.
It's been a long haul for you so far. I mean, I know you're still a young man, but as far as your hockey career goes, is there anybody you want to thank while you got an opportunity?
I just like to thank all my family and my friends back home who've been very supportive. My billets this year, they're great, taking me to games, away tournaments, stuff like that. Just like to thank everyone that was supported me through.
If you could have the best possible outcome for your season next year, Colt, what would it end up being?
Rookie of the year, and being one of the leading point getters on the team.
Sounds great. Best of luck.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Colt. Thanks. Good luck. You go? I'm not. Fuck, better hold the microphone. Don't know what I'm doing. Do it. All right, whatever. Omar, pretty recent trade. Were you surprised?
A bit. You know, I was thinking. Actually, I was hoping maybe to get a move, and it couldn't have been better to come to Mississauga. You know, it's a young team, and they're coming up, and I think the team will be pretty good next year.
Third year in the league. What kind of game are you going to be bringing to the Dogs?
Oh, well, I hope to bring.
All right. Bit of an interesting story now. You're going to be under the wing of Jim Halton. You've had experience with him before?
Yeah, well, he was our assistant coach in North Bay, and I couldn't be more excited to come here and be coached by him. He's a great guy, and we got along well, and just excited to play.
Was it also maybe a little easier? Was Mark Durant with you in North Bay as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, I know it was tough when he left too, and I know some of the guys, and he'll just make it easier for me to fit in with the guys.
Now, you haven't had a chance to play with the team, but you have had a chance to talk with Jim. What's he looking from your game to try and help out this team?
Well, basically, you know, it'll be a lot of young D next year, so he's looking for me to play a good defensive game and to have some leadership with all the younger guys. So it should be fun.
What do you think about the change coming from North Bay to playing for Don Cherry?
Oh, well, I'm excited. He's a great guy. Met him today for the first time, and couldn't be more excited.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
With the addition of Jason Spezza, the Mississauga Ice Dogs now have a goal scorer they desperately need after scoring the fewest goals in the league last year, while the Brampton Battalion will try and hope that Jay McClement will help supplement the void left by Jason Spezza. In Brampton, Mark Heineken, City Magazine Sports.